Hello everyone, I am Douglas E. Welch and this is a container garden update for A Gardener's Notebook. We've been a little off our schedule lately. We went to take a week and a half trip back to our home state of Ohio, but now that we're back in the garden, I'm checking on all the things and trying to make some plans for moving forward. First today I want to talk about the successes on the potting bench. Honestly, one of the biggest successes, and hopefully you can see that. Remember those pine cones I was knocking out into a box to get their seeds out the other day? I had really no idea that these would actually sprout because I've been told you need stratification, they have to be in cold, they have to be treated very, very specially to make them sprout. Well, guess what? I have a new pine tree right there. We're going to probably be potting him up into a bigger pot where he will stay for a long time. I wonder, maybe this could become our Christmas tree, our living Christmas tree for the next several years. We'll see. I'm going to get him in a larger pot so he's settled in and will stay there for a good couple years probably once I get him in there. But I am really surprised that he sprouted like that. Now, I will say one of about 12 seeds I put in here sprouted, just the one. So the ratio wasn't great, but I got really lucky and have a very healthy seedling. Our jacarandas are continuing on apace. I got 2 more over on the bench. Again, these are ready now to go into their kind of what I'll call their babysitting pots, probably a 1-gallon pot or so, where they will continue growing, and we'll just keep those in the garden as kind of little accent plants as they grow up, and eventually maybe they'll find a home in someone else's garden. I don't think we really need one here. We have too many trees as it is, but definitely might be a great gift to give away to someone. The Epiphyllums we were given by a friend of ours are starting to throw off new growth here as the silver-sided people carrier flies above. You can see that the Epiphyllum is ready to probably send off a sprout up here too on the top. The other one is still living and still alive, but it's not yet thrown off any new shoots yet, but it is, when I tug on it, you can tell it's rooted in its pot, so it's probably coming along too. This is going to be the pink Epiphyllum. The other one on the bench is a white Epiphyllum. And finally in the success, this is our Lantana. Remember that Lantana that had a little bit of roots from layering that we pulled out? Well, guess what? It went right into pot and it is going gangbusters. It's throwing off new growth, so another success here. We've got another new plant. This is a purple Lantana that we'll be able to put back in the garden very, very soon. Now, partial successes. Well, partially successful is our lavender cuttings. These are actually looking green and growing, although, you know, it's always a point of too much water, not enough water. If you look at the top of this one, you'll notice there's actually moss growing on top of it. I think this one's been left a little too wet. I had the bags on top of these. I think we're at the point now where we need to take the bags off and let them go. They are throwing off new leaves, so it's pretty assured that they have established roots now. We'll let them go a little longer in this pot. This is just a little seedling, a weed that's popped up in the pot. We'll let them go for maybe another couple weeks, and then we'll actually pot these up into something similar to that, maybe a 1/2-gallon pot or whatever, and start potting those on. These are destined to go back into our front garden where the lavender came from, and to start really filling out the whole front yard with tons and tons of lavender. My wife loves it. I love the smell of it. It just makes a nice little accent. And here in our Southern California climate, it's relatively carefree. You kind of shear it every so often and it just does fine. We have some lavender plants in our neighborhood that are huge. They're the size of large shrubs rather than just plants like this. So partial success here. Looks like we got one that is damped off here. I'm gonna actually go ahead and, yeah, no roots at all. I'm gonna pull him out, make some extra space in there, and I'm gonna now leave the bags off these. We'll keep them moist, but not as moist as they are right now. Unfortunately, the geranium cuttings, they don't deal with excess moisture at all. Most of them have simply rotted off. You can see this one here is like a wiggly worm. It's so rotted. Luckily though, one is still surviving. We'll keep him. We'll again take the wrap off, the bag that was on here to keep the moisture off. He is starting to throw a new leaf right there, so I think he'll survive. And this is again from our 17-year-old geranium in the front yard. I want to get more of these, so I'll probably take some more cuttings of these and just watch them more carefully. It just goes to show you, when you go on vacation sometimes, even if someone looks after it, I may not even have known, well, if I had been here, that these were getting too wet. I would have simply kept watering them, and sure enough, they just got a little damp. So you just got to make do with what happens in your garden when you go on vacation, and know that when you come back, some things are not going to be quite right. In this case, I would say this is all due to my own lack of preparation. I probably should have unbagged these before I left and had the garden keeper just keep them moist, but I was wanting to make sure that they kept on going. That's about it on the potting bench right now, again with our successes and our partial successes here. I'm feeling more confident now. We're getting more successes out of our cuttings and stuff like that. I'm learning a little bit more. I'm able to pay a little bit more attention to the stuff that's on the potting bench here, since we are in town and here at the house more frequently. I'm still walking around the neighborhood. I've actually got a whole container of new seeds that I've picked up from all around the neighborhood that I'm going to start potting up, including some grass seeds. I found 2 wonderful, just lovely kind of lacy fairy-like grasses that I just love here in the neighborhood, and I'm going to try to propagate those as well. Hopefully grasses are usually easier to germinate from seeds, so we might have some of those that we can use in the garden itself. I want to use them for edging around some of the garden beds. I don't like most of the traditional edgings, but I really do like live edgings that you can put along the bed, like society garlic and other things. So I'm going to try to do that with the grasses. That's it for this container garden update. Thanks for watching. Please, if you're on YouTube, click that like button. It really helps people discover my videos. If you have any questions, comments, brickbats, whatever you want to send my way, please put them wherever is most convenient for you, whether that's on YouTube, on the blog, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, more. Basically, I'm everywhere, and you can find me everywhere by searching A Gardener's Notebook. Thanks again, and until next time, keep digging. Stop. Oh, God.